The relationship between Google and Wikipedia was originally collaborative in Wikipedia's early days, when Google helped reduce the page rank of widespread, uneditable Wikipedia clones that were ostensibly ad farms. In 2007, Google introduced Knoll, a direct competitor for community-driven encyclopedia creation, which was subsequently shut down in 2012. Google later supported Wikimedia with numerous grants, and came to rely on Wikipedia for solving the problem of spread misinformation on YouTube, providing verifiable and well-sourced information to those seeking it. Google and Wikimedia Enterprise started a partnership in 2021. Platforms. Google Drive was introduced on April 24, 2012, with apps available for Windows, Mac OS, and Android, as well as a website interface. The iOS app was released later in June 2012. Computer apps. Google Drive is available for PCs running Windows 7 or later, and Macs running OS X Lion or later. Google indicated in April 2012 that work on Linux software was underway, but there was no news on this as of November 2013. In April 2012, Google's then Senior Vice President Sundar Pichai said that Google Drive would be tightly integrated with Chrome OS version 20. In October 2016, Google announced that, going forward, it would drop support for versions of the computer software older than 1 year. In June 2017, Google announced that a new app called Backup and Sync would replace the existing separate Google Drive and Google Photos desktop apps, creating one unified app on desktop platforms. Originally intended for release on June 28, its release was delayed until July 12. In September 2017, Google announced that it would discontinue the Google Drive desktop app in March 2018 and end support in December 2017. In July 2021, Google released a new app for Windows and Mac which is meant to replace Backup and Sync and Drive File Stream. Backup and Sync. Mobile apps. Google Drive is available for Android smartphones and tablets running Android 6.0 Marshmallow or later, and iPhones and iPads running iOS 14 or later. In August 2016, Google Drive ended support for Android devices running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich or older versions, citing Google's mobile app update policy, which states, "For Android devices, we provide updates for the current and 2 previous Android versions." According to the policy, the app will continue to work for devices running older Android versions, but any app updates are provided on a best efforts basis. The policy also states a notice will be given for any planned end of service. On May 4, 2020, Google rolled out a new feature update in its Google Drive app version 4.2020.18204 for iOS and iPadOS, known as Privacy Screen, which requires Face ID or Touch ID authentication whenever the app is open. Website interface. Google Drive has a website that allows users to see their files from any internet-connected computer, without the need to download an app. The website received a visual overhaul in 2014 that gave it a completely new look and improved performance. It also simplified some of the most common tasks, such as clicking only once on a file to see recent activity or share the file, and added drag and drop functionality, where users can simply drag selected files to folders, for improved organization. A new update in August 2016 changed several visual elements of the website. The logo was updated, the search box design was refreshed, and the primary color was changed from red to blue. It also improved the functionality to download files locally from the website. Users can now compress and download large drive items into multiple 2GB.zip files with an improved naming structure, better Google Forms handling, and empty folders are now included in the .zip, thereby preserving the user's folder hierarchy. Storage. Individual user account storage. Google gives every user 15 GB of free storage through Google One. Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides files do not count towards the storage limit. This cloud storage is also shared with Gmail and Google Photos. Photos at maximum 16 megapixels and videos at maximum 1080p resolutions can be stored using the high quality setting in Google Photos. Using the high quality or original quality setting uses Google Drive quota. Users can purchase additional space through either a monthly or yearly payment. The option of yearly payments was introduced in December 2016, and is limited to the 100 GB, 200 GB, or 2 TB storage plans. Furthermore, the yearly payments offer a discount. In May 2018, Google announced that storage plans would be moved over to Google One. As of 2021, these are the storage plans offered by Google. Chrome ebook promotions. Chrome ebook users can obtain 100 GB of Google Drive storage free for 2 years as long as the promotion is activated within 180 days of the Chrome ebook device's initial purchase. This is available in all countries where Google Drive is available. Offer can only be redeemed once per device. Used, open box, and refurbished devices are not eligible for the offer. Google Workspace storage. Google offers 30 GB of drive storage for all Google Workspace Starter customers, and unlimited storage for those using Google Workspace for Business. Since July 2022, the G Suite Workspace for Education, valid for educational institutions and universities in particular, provides 100 TB of storage. Universities with more than 20,000 workspace users are offered an optionally increased storage limit. Storage scheme revisions. Before the introduction of Google Drive, Google Docs initially provided 15 GB of storage free of charge. On April 24, 2012, Google Drive was introduced with free storage of 5 GB. Storage plans were revised, with 25 GB costing $2.49/month, 100 GB costing $4.99/month and 1 TB costing $49.99/month. Originally, Gmail, Google Docs, and Picasa had separate allowances for free storage and a shared allowance for purchased storage. Between April 2012 and May 2013, Google Drive and Google and Photos had a shared allowance for both free and purchased storage, whereas Gmail had a separate 10 GB storage limit, which increased to 25 GB on the purchase of any storage plan. In September 2012, Google announced that a paid plan would now cover total storage, rather than the paid allocation being added to the free, e.g. a 100 GB plan allowed a total of 100 GB rather than 115 GB as previously. In May 2013, Google announced the overall merge of storage across Gmail, Google Drive, and Google and Photos, giving users 15 GB of unified free storage between the services. In March 2014, the storage plans were revised again and prices were reduced by 80% to $1.99/month for 100 GB, $9.99/month for 1 TB, and $99.99/month for 10 TB. This was much cheaper than competitors Dropbox and OneDrive offered at the time. In 2018, the paid plans were rebranded as Google One to emphasize their application beyond Google Drive, along with the addition of a $2.99/month plan for 200 GB, and increasing the $9.99 plan to 2 TB at no additional charge. On November 11, 2020, Google announced charging Google Photos storage once the users exceed the limit of 15 GB on their account. The update was announced to come into effect from June 1, 2021. Before June 1, all photos and documents uploaded on Google's online storage will not be counted under the 15 GB cap. In September 2021, Google added a 5 TB storage plan priced at $24.99/month. Features. Sharing. Google Drive incorporates a system of file sharing in which the creator of a file or folder is, by default, its owner. The owner can regulate the public visibility of the file or folder. Ownership is transferable. Files or folders can be shared privately with particular users having a Google account, using the email address associated with that account. Sharing files with users not having a Google account requires making them accessible to anybody with the link. This generates a secret URL for the file, which may be shared via email or private messages. Files and folders can also be made public on the web, which means that they can be indexed by search engines and thus can be found and accessed by anyone. The owner may also set an access level for regulating permissions. The three access levels offered are can edit, can comment and can view. Users with editing access can invite others to edit. On September 13, 2021, the URL to a portion of existing files was changed, ostensibly for security reasons. Third-party apps. A number of external web applications that work with Google Drive are available from the Chrome Web Store. To add an app, users are required to sign into the Chrome Web Store, but the apps are compatible with all supported web browsers. Some of these apps are first-party, such as Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Drive apps operate on online files and can be used to view, edit, and create files in various formats, edit images and videos, fax and sign documents, manage projects, create flowcharts, etc. Drive apps can also be made the default for handling file formats supported by them. Some of these apps also work offline on Google Chrome and Chrome OS. All of the third-party apps are free to install. However, some have fees associated with continued usage or access to additional features. Saving data from a third-party app to Google Drive requires authorization the first time. The Google Drive Software Development Kit works together with the Google Drive user interface and the Chrome Web Store to create an ecosystem of apps that can be installed into Google Drive. In February 2013, the Create menu in Google Drive was revamped to include third-party apps, thus effectively granting them the same status as Google's own apps. In March 2013, Google released an API for Google Drive that enables third-party developers to build collaborative apps that support real-time editing. File viewing. The Google Drive viewer on the web allows the following file formats to be viewed. Native formats. Image files. Video files. Audio formats. Text files. Executable program files. Markup/code. Microsoft Word. Microsoft Excel. Microsoft PowerPoint. Adobe Portable Document Format. Apple Pages. Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Photoshop. Autodesk AutoCAD. Scalable Vector Graphics. PostScript. Python. Fonts. XML paper specification. Archive file types. .mts files. Raw image formats. Files in other formats can also be handled through third-party apps that work with Google Drive, available from the Chrome Web Store. File limits. Files that are uploaded, but not converted to Google Docs, Sheets, or Slides formats, may be up to 5 TB in size. There are also limits, specific to file type, listed below. Documents. Up to 1.02 million characters, regardless of the number of pages or font size. Document files converted to .docx format cannot be larger than 50 MB. Images inserted cannot be larger than 50 MB, and must be in either .jpg, .png, or non-animated .gif formats. Spreadsheets. Up to 10 million cells, or 18,278 columns. Presentations. Presentation files converted to .glide slides format cannot be larger than 100 MB. Images inserted cannot be larger than 50 MB, and must be in either .jpg, .png, or non-animated .gif formats. Quick access. Introduced in the Android app in September 2016, Quick Access uses machine learning to intelligently predict the files you need before you've even typed anything. The feature was announced to be expanded to iOS and the web in March 2017, though the website interface received the feature in May. Search. Search results can be narrowed by file type, ownership, visibility, and the Open with app users can search for images by describing or naming what is in them. For example, a search for mountain returns all the photos of mountains, as well as any text documents about mountains. Text in images and PDFs can be extracted using optical character recognition. In September 2016, Google added natural language processing for searching on the Google Drive website, enabling specific user search queries like Find My Budget spreadsheet from last December. In February 2017, Google integrated Drive and the Google Search app on Android, letting users search for keywords, switch to an In-Apps tab, and see any relevant Drive files. Backups. In December 2016, Google updated the Android app and website with a Backups section, listing the Android device and app backups saved to Drive. The section lets users see what backups are stored, the backups sizes and details, and delete backups. In June 2017, Google announced that a new app, Backup and Sync, would be able to synchronize any folder on the user's computer to Google. The app was released on July 12, 2017. Metadata. A description field is available for both files and folders that users can use to add relevant metadata. Content within the description field is also indexed by Google Drive and searchable. Accessibility to the visually impaired. In June 2014, Google announced a number of updates to Google Drive, which included making the service more accessible to visually impaired users. This included improved keyboard accessibility, support for zooming and high contrast mode, and better compatibility with screen readers. iSave to Google Drive/i browser extension. None. Mobile apps. Google Drive is available for Android smartphones and tablets running Android 6.0 Marshmallow or later, and iPhones and iPads running iOS 14 or later. In August 2016, Google Drive ended support for Android devices running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich or older versions, citing Google's mobile app update policy, which states, "For Android devices, we provide updates for the current and 2 previous Android versions." According to the policy, the app will continue to work for devices running older Android versions, but any app updates are provided on a best efforts basis. The policy also states a notice will be given for any planned end of service. On May 4, 2020, Google rolled out a new feature update in its Google Drive app version 4.2020.18204 for iOS and iPadOS, known as Privacy Screen, which requires Face ID or Touch ID authentication whenever the app is open. Encryption. Before 2013, Google did not encrypt data stored on its servers. Following information that the United States National Security Agency had direct access to servers owned by multiple technology companies, including Google, the company began testing encrypting data in July and enabled encryption for data in transit between its data centers in November. However, as of 2015, Google Drive does not provide client-side encryption. Professional editions. Google Drive Enterprise. Google Drive Enterprise is a business version, as part of Google Workspace, announced at the Google I/O conference on June 25, 2014, and made available immediately. The service features unlimited storage, advanced file audit reporting, and e-discovery services, along with enhanced administration control and new APIs specifically useful to businesses. Users can upload files as large as 5 TB. A press release posted on Google's official enterprise blog assured businesses that Google would encrypt data stored on its servers, as well as information being transmitted to or from them. Google delivers 24/7 phone support to business users and has guaranteed 99.9% uptime for its servers. In September 2015, Google announced that Google Drive for Work would be compliant with the new ISO/IEC 27018:2014 security and privacy standard, which confirmed that Google would not use data in Drive for Work accounts for advertising, enabled additional tools for handling and exporting data, more transparency about data storage, and protection from third-party data requests. In July 2018, Google announced a new edition, called Drive Enterprise, for businesses that don't want to buy the full Google Workspace. Drive Enterprise includes Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, which permits collaborative editing of documents, spreadsheets, presentations, drawings, forms, and other file types. Drive Enterprise also allows users to access and collaborate on Microsoft Office files and 60+ other file types. The pricing of Drive Enterprise is based on usage, with $8 per active user per month, plus 4 cents per GB per month. Google Drive for Education. Google Drive for Education was announced on September 30, 2014. It was made available for free to all Google Apps for Education users. It includes unlimited storage and support for individual files up to 5 TB in size in addition to full encryption. Shared drives. In September 2016, Google announced Team Drives, later renamed Shared Drives, as a new way for Google Workspace teams to collaborate on documents and store files. In shared drives, file/folder sharing and ownership are assigned to a team rather than to an individual user. Since 2020, shared drives had an ability to assign different access levels to files and folders to different users and teams, and an ability to share a folder publicly. Unlike individual Google Drive, shared drives offer unlimited storage. Drive File Stream. In March 2017, Google introduced Drive File Stream, a desktop application for G Suite customers using Windows and Mac OS computers that maps Google Drive to a drive letter on the operating system, and thus allows easy access to Google Drive files and folders without using a web browser. It also features on-demand file access, when the file is downloaded from Google Drive only when it is accessed. Additionally, Drive File Stream supports the shared drives functionality of Google Workspace. In early 2021, Google announced that it will be combining its Drive File Stream and Backup and Sync products into one product, Google Drive for Desktop, which will support features previously exclusive to each respective client. Signing into the client using a Google Workspace Enable account is expected to enable the same enterprise features that Google is migrating to the new product. Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides constitute a free, web-based Office suite offered by Google and integrated with Google Drive. It allows users to create and edit documents, spreadsheets, and presentations online while collaborating in real time with other users. The three apps are available as web applications, as Chrome apps that work offline, and as mobile apps for Android and iOS. The apps are also compatible with Microsoft Office file formats. The suite also consists of Google Drawings, Google Forms, Google Sites, and Google Keep. While Forms and Sites are only available as web applications, Drawings is also available as a Chrome app, while a mobile app for Keep is also available. The suite is tightly integrated with Google Drive, and all files created with the apps are by default saved to Google Drive. Updates. Updates to Docs, Sheets, and Slides have introduced features using machine learning, including Explore, offering search results based on the contents of a document, answers based on natural language questions in a spreadsheet, and dynamic design suggestions based on contents of a slideshow, and action items, allowing users to assign tasks to other users. While Google Docs has been criticized for lacking the functionality of Microsoft Office, it has received praise for its simplicity, ease of collaboration, and frequent product updates. In order to view and edit Docs, Sheets, or Slides documents offline, users need to be using the Google Chrome web browser. A Chrome extension, Google Docs Offline, allows users to enable offline support for Docs, Sheets, and Slides files on the Google Drive website. Google also offers an extension for the Google Chrome web browser called Office Editing for Docs, Sheets and Slides that enables users to view and edit Microsoft Office documents on Google Chrome via Docs, Sheets, and Slides apps. The extension can be used for opening Office files stored on the computer using Chrome, as well as for opening Office files encountered on the web without having to download them. The extension is installed on Chrome OS by default. Reception. Features. Ownership and licensing. Immediately after its announcement in April 2012, Google faced criticism over Google Drive privacy. In particular, privacy advocates have noted that Google has one unified set of terms of service and privacy policy agreements for all its products and services. In a CNET report, Zach Whitaker noted that the terms and service have come under heavy fire by the wider community for how it handles users' copyright and intellectual property rights. In a comparison of terms of service agreements between Google Drive and competing cloud storage services Dropbox and OneDrive, he cited a paragraph stating that Google has broad rights to reproduce, use, and create derivative works from content stored on Google Drive, via a license from its users. Although the user retains intellectual property rights, the user licenses Google to extract and parse uploaded content to customize the advertising and other services that Google provides to the user and to promote the service. Summarized, he wrote that according to its terms, Google does not own user-uploaded files to Google Drive, but the company can do whatever it likes with them. In a highly critical editorial of the service, Ed Bott of ZDNet wrote that language in the agreements contained exact same words as Dropbox used in a July 2011 privacy policy update that sparked criticism and forced Dropbox to update its policy once again with clarifying language, adding that it's a perfect example of Google's inability to pay even the slightest bit of attention to anything that happens outside the Googleplex. Matt Peckham of Time criticized the lack of unique service agreements for Drive, writing that if any Google service warrants privacy firewalling, it's Google Drive. This isn't YouTube or Calendar or even Gmail. The potential for someone's most sensitive data to be snooped, whether to glean info for marketing or otherwise, is too high. Google ought to create a privacy exception that narrows the scope of its service terms for Google Drive, one that minimally states the company will never circulate the information generated from searching within your G Drive data in any way. In contrast, a report by Nilay Patel of The Verge stated that all web services should be subject to the harsh scrutiny of their privacy policies, but a close and careful reading reveals that Google's terms are pretty much the same as anyone else's, and slightly better in some cases, pointing to the fact that Google couldn't move files around on its servers, cache your data, or make image thumbnails without proper rights. In comparing the policies with competing services, Patel wrote that it's clear that they need the exact same permissions, they just use slightly more artful language to communicate them. Growth. On November 12, 2013, Google announced that Google Drive had 120 million active users, a figure that the company was releasing for the first time. On June 25, 2014, at the Google I/O Developer Conference, Sundar Pichai announced that Google Drive now had 190 million monthly active users, and that it was being used by 58% of the Fortune 500 companies as well as by 72 of the top universities. On October 1, 2014, at its Atmosphere Live event, it was announced that Google Drive had 240 million monthly active users. The Next Web noted that this meant an increase of 50 million users in just one quarter. On September 21, 2015, it was announced that Google Drive had over 1 million organizational paying users. In March 2017, Google announced that Google Drive had 800 million active users. In May 2017, a Google executive stated at a company event that there were over 2 trillion files stored on Google Drive. Downtime issues. Although Google has a 99.9% uptime guarantee for Google Drive for Google Workspace customers, Google Drive has suffered downtimes for both consumers and business users. During significant downtimes, Google's App Status dashboard gets updated with the current status of each service Google offers, along with details on restoration progress. Notable downtimes occurred in March 2013, October 2014, January 2016, September 2017, January 2020, and December 2020. When the January 2016 outage was resolved, a Google spokesperson told The Next Web, "At Google, we recognize that failures are statistically inevitable, and we strive to insulate our users from the effects of failures. As that did not happen in this instance, we apologize to everyone who was inconvenienced by this event. Our engineers are conducting a post-mortem investigation to determine how to make our services more resilient to unplanned network failures, and we will do our utmost to continue to make Google service outages notable for their rarity." In an outage that affected all of Google's services for 5 minutes in August 2013, CNET reported that global Internet traffic dropped 40%.